The show getting Dublin talking.
Every morning from 10.
Adrian Kennedy.
Dublin Talks on 98FM.
You're on 98FM. Hi, you, Tracy.
Hi. How are you?
Good, thank you, Tracy. Your point is regarding your own father.
Yeah.
Who abused you and your sisters.
Yeah, and he's passed away now 8 years. Funnily enough, my other two sisters have made their peace, forgave him, and visit his grave. But me, no, I can't. And why?
Why the difference?
I don't know. I actually don't know. I've been asked that many a time. How come you can't forgive him? Why I can't forgive him is that he's ruined my life. He was a street angel and a house devil, is what they called him.
Okay, so he abused you and your two sisters.
He did, yeah, for many, many, many years. And we brought him to court, and he got 4 years remanded sentence because of his age, because he was in his late 60s. There was 50 odd charges up against him. Crazy. He never did a day. But yeah, he lived on his own for his last few years and probably died a lonely old man, really.
One of the things that I was saying a couple of minutes ago is, I can get you, I can understand your point, I can understand how a woman who might have been abused by her father might want to dance on his grave.
Yeah.
I can't understand, though, other people who had nothing to do with somebody like Catherine Nevin wanting to dance on her grave.
Yeah, I can't understand that either, actually. I can understand where they're coming from, but, there's no need for that hatred. Life is hard enough day to day without bringing in other people's problems into your own life. Why give her the time of day is my outlook, being honest with you. She's dead. Let the woman die and leave her at it.
And can you, with you and your father, when you found out that he had passed away, was that relief? Was it?
Yeah, massive relief. I went to his funeral only for my mother's sake. My mother, they were split completely straight away when it all came out, but for probably respect of his family and neighbours and people that knew him for what he wasn't, He was, as I said, he was a street angel. I think that's the only reason why my mother went to his funeral, and just to save face, probably. She's a strong woman, and...
Could you ever see yourself forgiving, or could you ever see yourself visiting his grave? Because I'm interested that your two sisters have.
Yeah, I know. I went to his grave, but it wasn't to pray for him. It was to curse him because I might have been having a bad week or something. I still go to counselling over what happened to me, so it's an ongoing thing, and my life has been I'm not going to say a trauma because of him, but it's been said that I've had a roller coaster of a life because of what I did go through when I was a kid.
But you do believe, though, and like I said, your story is different because it directly affects you, but you do think that the outrage and the condemnation and the dancing on the grave of Catherine Nevin is a bit unnecessary, considering that in reality this woman had nothing to do with most people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no need for complete strangers to do all that. You don't know how her family's feeling. Yeah, they might hate every bone in her body, but she was also a mother. She was also, or a daughter or a sister, or you don't know how that family is feeling right now or in the last, how many years did she do?
The guts of 20.
There you go. That was tough enough. My family have always spoke about if my father ever did go to prison, we reckon that it probably would have split us in two, and we're a very, very united family. It might have split us in two because some of them might have went to see him, others mightn't have, and in a way I'm kind of glad he didn't,
Is it something that you've fought with your sisters over, or do you respect their decision to deal with it in the way in which they're dealing with it?
At the very beginning I did, but I kind of had to pull myself back and say, right, look, they're adults. You have to respect everybody's wishes and wants, and I had to understand where they were coming from, and every one of us have suffered in some way or other, maybe some not so much, or maybe they're still suffering inside, I don't know.
Do you ever see a day where you could forgive him?
I hope so.
Okay.
I do, I hope so.
Because hatred and resentment and all of that is a very difficult burden to carry as well.
Yeah, it is. I'm choking up even here thinking about it. It eats you. It eats you up inside, like, and it when my bad days come, I have really bad days, like. Only my closest would realise and would know. But, like, I've many a time woke in a pool of sweat and I'd be, talking in screaming in my sleep and all. I do suffer bad from it. And then I could get up and have a normal day. And then it could be something on TV or something that somebody says or does, and straight away it all comes back. It's frightening, and I'm in my 40s, and it's tough.
So in answer to my question, do you see a day, because I see, just as an outsider just listening to your story, I would see that lifting a huge burden off your shoulders, not necessarily forgiving him, but well, yeah, maybe. Forgiveness is a very...
My answer to you is I hope so. I can't say yes and I can't say no. I'm hoping this the last probably 15 years, because probably 20 years we're dealing with it, because he was up in court about 20 years ago. He'd be in his 80s now. But yeah, I would like to think for my own sake, because it doesn't affect anybody else. As in my kids or my partner. It doesn't affect probably my partner, because he has to, probably deal with my ups and downs. But he knows what I go through, and he's there for me. But, I wouldn't like to think it affects my kids, because I don't let them know. But for my own sake, I would love to think I'd be able to forgive him. Life's too short to hold that hatred in your being. It's like
Tracy, all I can say is I wish you well.
Thank you. I'm good. Life is good. It's everybody has bad days.
Absolutely. Well, look, I appreciate you talking to us. Thank you very much indeed.
The show getting Dublin talking.
Every morning from 10.
Adrian Kennedy.
Dublin Talks on 98FM.